Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's regular meeting of the Township of North Dundas Council, today being September 5th. Also included in today is a section that would be a public meeting, would be included throughout the afternoon. Moved by Councillor Annable, second by Councillor Uhrig, that the meeting of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of North Dundas be hereby called to order at 1:02 p.m. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Before I read the resolution on the adoption of the agenda, would council like any items listed under the consent agenda be brought forward for discussion? Seeing no, moved by Councillor Annable, second by Councillor Uhrig, that the agenda be adopted as presented. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? Seeing none. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, second by Councillor Annable, that the minutes of the regular meeting of the Council of the Corporation of North Dundas held on the 15th day of August 2024 be adopted as presented. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. At this point, we're going to enter into the public meeting, and the presenter, Chantal Doyen, our junior planner, will do the presentation today. Chantal.
How about that? There we go. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay. This should be on as well. All right, let's get into it. Before we begin, we want to bring to Council's attention recent changes to the Planning Act, specifically Section 34. They've changed the appeal rights, so listing here that only specified persons, a public body, or a registered owner upon making oral or written submission at or before a public meeting can appeal the decision of the Council of North Dundas. So that was passed as a part of Bill 185 on June 6th, when it came into effect. So specifically regarding today's zoning amendment that we'll be discussing, on the property specified, they would like to add the uses of custom workshop and outdoor storage to the commercial special exception 11 zone. And they'd also like to rezone part of the property from commercial special exception 6 to commercial special exception 11. So the lands subject to this amendment being discussed are outlined here in red, as you can see on the screen. And they are municipally known as 12050 County Road 3 and 12054 County Road 3 here in Winchester. Public consultation did occur for these. Specifically, a notice of public meeting was circulated via mail on August 14th, and a sign was posted on the property on August 15th. So existing uses on the property today are a cabinet manufacturing business, auto and home glass installations, tool and equipment rentals, contract offices, and mini storage. proposed uses on the property, in addition to those existing on the property, would include permitting 2 additional uses of custom workshop and outdoor storage to the C11 zone, and extending the C11 zone along the southern half of the property at 12050 County Road 3. So under the official plan, the property is designated commercial district, which you'll see in subsequent slides. The properties are zoned commercial special exception 6 and commercial special exception 11. The proposed zoning would be to reduce the area for commercial special exception 6 and expand the area of commercial special exception 11, which you'll see on subsequent slides as well. And in total, the 2 properties combined are approximately 5.5 acres in size. So as you can see here, under the official plan, the commercial district is the area where the subject properties are located, highlighted in orange on these maps here. The pink area surrounding our residential district, and the maroon color to the southwest is the special land use of Wellings property there. So the purpose and effect would be to amend the C11 zone to permit 2 additional uses of custom workshop and outdoor storage, and extend the C11 zone along the rear half of the property at 12050 County Road 3. If approved, they would permit the operation of a cabinet manufacturing business to continue, as well as permit the outdoor storage RVs and campers, etc., and expand the C11 zone onto the neighboring property. So it's the opinion of staff that the amendment conforms with the provincial policy statement, in many ways specific to and including these listed here. So relating to the settlement areas that shall focus on growth and development, providing opportunities for a diversified economic base, and supporting long-term economic prosperity. We feel that it also conforms with the official plan, including supporting complete communities that integrate a mix of uses and amenities, supporting a diversity of existing local businesses, enabling a variety of commercial uses along primary corridors to downtown, and supporting long-term economic growth. So the area that is considered for the rezoning is outlined here in red. So the entirety of the area outlined in red is where the C11 zone is proposed to be. And we've also hatched the area specifying exactly where the zoning will continue on to the property at 12050 County Road 3. So you get a sense that it's the rear half of the property. So for reference, the commercial special exception 11 zone is read under the bylaw as notwithstanding the provisions of subsection 6.1a. To the contrary, on land zone C11, a mini warehouse facility shall be permitted in addition to permitted uses in the commercial zone. And if amended, the proposed changes will read, notwithstanding the provisions of subsection 6.1a, to the contrary, on land zone C11, a mini warehouse facility, a custom workshop, and outdoor storage uses, as defined below, shall be permitted in addition to the permitted uses in the commercial zone. And the outdoor storage definition would read, outdoor storage shall mean the storage of goods, vehicles, or equipment outside of a building or structure on a lot of or portion thereof, however, shall be limited to the following uses of automobile, trailers, campers, and RVs. To date, we have not received any comments from ministries or public bodies, nor members of the public. And with that, I will pass it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Chantal. So now we'll open the meeting up to questions and comments from the public. I see we have a few members from the public here today. If you wish to ask a question or deliver a comment, please state your name and address for the benefit of the clerk to record that. Any questions, comments from members of the audience? Is the applicant here? Questions, comments, thoughts from the applicant? And again, name and address, ma'am.
My name is Jennifer LeBlanc. I'm with 100410668 Canada Incorporated. I'm the COO. I was here mainly to answer any of your questions, should you have any questions about what we're planning for the properties and the uses that are being proposed.
Well, thank you for that offer. So I look at my fellow council members. Do you have any questions? Our Deputy Mayor.
My only concern was if the person at 12050 had any concerns, but there were none. Is that that's correct? No one?
The residence at 12050 is a tenant of ours.
Okay.
And they actually work for the business.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
We tried to make sure also that we left enough buffer between the residents, their lawn, and the fence and additional lawn behind so that we would really minimize any kind of impact on the tenant in that home.
Well, thank you very much. I think that might be the only question or comment. The package is very clear to about what is going to take place, and as it's outlined by Chantal, it fits, and so thank you. So that's fine. And seeing as there's no questions from council, we've heard from all who wish to make representations regarding the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. This therefore completes the public portion of the meeting. And thank you very much for asking. We ask. I appreciate that. So that concludes the public meeting. Thank you, Chantal. Before we roll any further into action requests, I do want to recognize that our CAO is back with us for the first meeting, and I want to extend, make sure she has a mouthful. I want to extend sincere thanks and congratulations, and it's so nice to see you back here with us, Angela, and on behalf of council, staff, and the public. It's good to see you back, and we look forward to sunny days moving ahead. Thank you. So we're going to move into action request. Mr. Paul. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor Annable, that bylaw number 2024-56 being a bylaw to amend the former Township of Winchester zoning bylaw 12-93 as amended for the property legally described as part of Lot 2, Concession 6, former Township of Winchester, municipally known as 12050 and 12054, County Road number 3, PIN numbers 6610200450 and 6610200451, be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed this 5th day of September 2024. Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mayor Fraser. So this is further to the public meeting moments ago. Bylaw 2024-56 is before council for consideration. I did want to point out further, as Chantal pointed out during the meeting, the Planning Act has changed in June, so you can no longer object as a public member of a municipality or the public can't object to zoning amendments anymore. So the entire decision now rests with council. So there's no appeal tribunal to go to if you don't like what your neighbor's doing in rezoning. It's a council decision. It's a final decision. As she pointed out, there's very few people that can. One is the Minister of Municipal Affairs. The applicant can still appeal if it's different than the owner. So the owner can also appeal if they don't get a favorable decision. The other one's prescribed persons, and that is a very limited number of people. They generally are some of your, what do you call them, like Union Gas, or now it's Enbridge Gas. Those kind of public or not public bodies, but private organizations can still appeal if they find there's something in there that affects them directly. So it's very, very limited who can object to. And same goes with official plan amendments now, and minor variances nobody can appeal, and subdivisions. As you know, we don't do public meetings anymore, even though we do them. But so the province, as of June this year, changed all the rules. So yeah, if you want to object to something, they've got to come to council and address council at a public meeting. That's your chance. And it's the decisions now rest with you. So this is the First Amendment we're looking at, that the decisions rest here. Now you can't object.
Questions, comments? Deputy Mayor, then Councillor.
Yeah, I was just a little, I was going to question, what is a specified person?
Yep. Yeah, we should have had the definition here. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, because,
It's a very limited list of individual or organizations that can object. They're basically organizations like Enbridge Gas or CN
Okay.
Rail or CP Rail. It's a list of very specific organizations that can, and Ontario Hydro, let's say, they're included in that too. So it's a very specific list of not public bodies, but public organizations that supply us natural gas or hydro and things like that.
Thank you. Councillor Urick?
I was just going to say thank you for, excuse me, sorry, thank you for breaking that down, Calvin, because I just, the general public just would not know that, right?
Yep.
And, so now this is our opportunity to have heard it on the record. And, I mean, we'll sit here thankful that this zoning amendment is not nearly as acrimonious as others we've seen in the past, so we shouldn't have any troubles.
Yeah, going forward, hopefully. It's still good.
Further questions? So I do have one more, and it piggybacks on to the question asked by the Deputy Mayor. When they say specified person, whenever Chantal was presenting, I was thinking as a specified person, someone that's captured in that 120-meter zone. They're not a specified. So they get the information that this meeting is going to take place and the reason for the meeting, and that's it. They have that is the information, and that's their. they have no opportunity to speak now? Could they come to the public meeting yet and still speak? But they can't, they can't, they can't object to it. They can object to it, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. They can't file an objection with
Sorry,
the
they
Ontario Land
can't
Transport.
file an objection.
They're done with that. Their only objection is before council and to voice their opinion. And they have to come here, obviously, to present that, or do it in writing beforehand, or have a solicitor present for them. They can also do that. So,
It does seem to speed up the process, and but it does offer challenges. It does offer challenges as we look, and I have complete confidence and faith in our council and staff that you know, we'd always be doing the right thing, and there'd be nothing under. But when you read some of the stories that are out there about how people work, it makes you wonder what the end goal is. But anyway, thank you very much for the explanation.
so oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, you go right ahead.
So I'll continue on. There's an associated site plan approval that has been filed by the applicants with the township. So that site plan approval is in the process, and they're going through stormwater approval and that sort of thing. It's going to add a bunch of mini storage units in that side area where you see that it's currently vacant. So that's just going through its paces, getting approvals through the counties too for the entrances and how the entrances are treated there. Because as you know, right now, it's kind of a wide entrances to kind of focus that down. So that's being considered in site plan approval, which will hopefully be done towards the end of this month and get approved so they can get constructing. Because they have a great market next door with the Wellings project for mini storage. So be a great project for us.
Yes, for sure. Well needed. If there's nothing further,
Just one little note, on the following page, under the financial analysis, there was a cut and copy error that crept in there. It says, once constructed, additional property tax revenue can be anticipated. There should have been a period after that. With the additional dwelling units should not have been included. There's no dwelling units being installed on here. And an avid reader picked that out and brought it to my attention.
well, thank you for clearing that up for us. Anything further, Mr. Pohl,
That's it.
before I interrupt you for the third time?
Sorry.
Seeing nothing further, all those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you very much, Mr. Pohl. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, second by Councillor Annabelle, whereas Jason White has submitted an application for a plan of subdivisions SDG file 02-ND-S-S-S 2024 for 13 residential lots on part of Lot 5, Concession 6, former Township of Mountain, now the Township of North Dundas under Section 51(8)16 of the Planning Act. And whereas a public information session was held in South Mountain on July 25, 2024, in accordance with the county official plan, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Township of North Dundas hereby requests that the United Counties SDG incorporate the following 24 conditions attached hereto as Appendix A into Plan of Subdivision number 02-ND-S-2024. Mr. Pohl.
Thank you, Mayor Fraser. So this is an application for 13 new lots in the hamlet or settlement area of Mountain. They're looking to move forward with this application. They've done the public meeting now, and we've developed the conditions, which are almost identical to the conditions we imposed in the subdivision in Morewood. They're very similar conditions. It requires you to enter into a subdivision agreement with the municipality, provide the drainage plan, all the typical conditions we place on a subdivision. So this is the second one this year. We're looking at 2 new subdivisions also coming in the next month or so in Hallville. So we're pretty excited, getting lots of good development and new subdivisions in and around the township. So these conditions will be forwarded to the counties to be imposed on the subdivision.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor Uhrig, that bylaw number 2024-46 being a bylaw to amend the former Township of Mountain zoning bylaw 79-6 as amended for the property legally described as part of Lot 13, Concession 2, former Township of Mountain, municipally known as 1060 County Road number 3, PIN number 661080083, be read a third and final time in open council. Signed and sealed this 5th day of September 2024. Mr. Pohl.
Thank you, Mayor Fraser. So back in June, council gave this zoning amendment application, we had the public meeting, it gave it first and second reading. This is to move to third and final reading. County Council at its meeting on August 26th adopted official plan amendment number 25, which was contingent on this application moving forward through the process. Now that that amendment has been passed by County Council, this township can consider the zoning amendment, give it final reading. Appeal periods should coincide with each other. They'll be very close as far as the appeal period ending, and then they can start the construction, which they're quite eager to do.
If there's nothing further, all those in favor? Oppose? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you. We move on to Recreation and Culture. Ms. Meerberg. Excuse me. Hello. Moved by Councillor Urick, second by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, that council approve the award of tender number RC 2024-04 for the construction of the Hallville Community Park to Cornwall Gravel Limited for the stipulated price of $1,841,394.89 plus HST, and that bylaw number 2024 being a bylaw and to enter into an agreement with Cornwall Gravel Company Limited for the construction of Hallville Community Park. Be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed this 5th day of September 2024. Ms. Meerberg.
Good afternoon,
Good
Council.
afternoon.
Today is the day that Council staff and residents have been waiting for, as we are here to award the tender for the construction of phases 1 and 2 of the Hallville Community Park. As noted in my report, these phases include parking lots and pathways, outdoor rink and multi-use court, so pickleball and tennis taken into consideration there. The playgrounds, the maintenance and washroom building, complete with septic and water supply, a basketball half key, a pavilion, and parking lots and underground electrical conduits for future pathway lighting. A total of 5 bid submissions were received. Novatech, our project consultant, reviewed and evaluated the submissions and recommends that the contract be awarded to Cornwall Gravel Company Limited for the price of, as you mentioned, Mayor, $1,841,394. As outlined in the information provided, the Township of North Dundas was successful in its application to the ICIP Community Culture and Recreation Infrastructure Funding Stream, receiving a funding commitment of 73.33% of the project cost from the government to a maximum of just over $2 million. So pending council approval of the contract award, we'll be holding a project kickoff meeting next week with plans to mobilize and break ground the following week, which is the week of September 16th. And a sod turning ceremony would be scheduled, so I would be reaching out to council for availability.
I'm sort of stunned. Such good news. As you mentioned, we've been waiting for this this day for a very long time, and my thanks for your efforts to get us to this point, Ms. Meerberg. I know it's been quite a challenge, and there's a lot of things to be considered, and I appreciate the time you spent on this, and I look forward to the sod turning and all of the other stuff that's going to take place. It's going to be exciting times for the next little while for your department. So thanks again. Questions, comments from members of council? Councillor Urick.
Just seems kind of underwhelming, our reaction here. We've been waiting so long that here we are. But no, this is fabulous news and what many, many people have been waiting for. So yes, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes done to get us to this point, but it's fantastic to see. I'm just sorry that the same 3 people with their passive aggressive nature won't have anything to comment on anymore when we actually continue with this Hallville Park project. So this is fantastic news.
Thank you, Councillor. Further questions, further comments? Once again, this is exciting news, and I look forward to all of council being available. So we'll have to work hard together to make sure we can be available to show up and be there for this exciting moment, this event. If there's nothing further, all those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried.
Mayor, sir, if I may, thank you very much for your appreciation, but I would be amiss if I didn't thank our whole staff team for their input on this project, and Ben DeHaan as well for his guidance, but it was a huge staff effort from many departments who collaborated very well to come to this point. So I just wanted to express my sincere gratitude
Well,
to our
thank you
team.
for that. Thank you for that, and point well taken. Being around about the office for the last number of years, I've experienced that effort. I've seen it in action, and I know it's not just one person. It's a team that makes things happen, and we do have quite a team working towards this goal. So thank you for reminding me.
Thank you.
We're going to move into the key information report. Mr. Garreau.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Ms. Meerberg always is a tough act to follow. Coming on the heels of that, I don't mean to throw a pall over such a beautiful day by saying the word budgets, but it appears it has snuck up on us once again. So we're looking for council's input into the 2025 budget deliberation process and what your preferences are regarding the timing of that draft budget. There's a couple of paragraphs there that list the advantages of an early budget versus a late budget. Of course, if we have early passage, it includes promptly executing financial strategies at the beginning of the year, better chance of getting favorable pricing through early bidding, and ensuring that we get any financial information necessary back to the counties, the provinces, and the school boards in a timely manner. Conversely, later budgets allow for more accuracy because we would have the 2024 actuals in front of us, hopefully, depending how long that takes. So that might help us with evaluating what 25 looks like. The past sometimes being a bit of a predictor of the future would be the theory behind that. It also gives us some time to take into account provincial announcements regarding funding allocations like OSIP or gas tax. Ms. Meerberg mentioned ICIF. All those sorts of funding, sometimes the amounts change and we're wondering exactly what they're going to be. Give us a little bit better handle on impact assessments. External factors like inflation, what's inflation look like for 25, a bit more accurate if we wait. Having said all that, council has a regular meeting, I believe, scheduled for Thursday, December 5th. Our 25 meeting dates haven't been established yet, but council is hoping, or sorry, staff is hoping that if you do go with an early budget, that it will hopefully be the week of December 16th, and it would be a standalone meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Garreau. Yes, and to the establishing the date of a draft budget, I had the opportunity yesterday to ask a question of our neighbors in SDG, all of our neighbors over in SDG, what the flavor was for early budget versus a later budget. I know years ago we moved towards an earlier budget, and I do believe that the counties are doing an earlier budget. So just to lead off, and I don't like to be the one to lead off, my preference is that we continue in that fashion with an early budget. I know there's this challenges of reserves and surplus and having all the financial details available, but through our experience, it can be later, and the workload. If the workload is later and it becomes overwhelming, if we have to push something, then we'd end up pushing until mid-spring if we have a later date. So I'm always I'm more eager to see an early budget, so I'm looking forward to having a draft budget presentation on Wednesday, December 18th. That would be my available day, and the next week would be the week of Christmas, and I think would be a challenge. But the time to be determined, but I'll open that up to the rest of council that's with us. Councillor Deputy Mayor, and then Councillor Urick.
Yeah, I agree that we should have a standalone meeting for the budget because it can get pretty long. And I was looking at the dates, but I see the week of the 16th is okay. I'm okay for the 18th. And it doesn't conflict with SDG because our meeting dates are the 3rd and the 4th of December for early budget. So I have the 18th free.
What she said. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, early budget is certainly preferred, just to kind of get a snapshot of the year ahead and try to get ahead of things as much as possible. even though it kind of is a bit of unknowing. And yeah, the 18th would be fine with me. I could make that work. I would just suggest later in the day if possible.
I'll leave, the Madam Clerk will be working with all council members to find the best time on the 18th, if that's the day we settle on. Councillor Animal? So, I think I need another one of those tablets. So, Mr. Groh and Madam Clerk, we're looking at the 18th as the standalone draft budget presentation.
Okay, that sounds fine, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. We're going to move to the consent agenda, moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor Uhrig, that all items listed under the consent agenda be approved/filed as recommended. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Drop down to motions and notices of motions. Any? Seeing none. Council comments and concerns. I do have one, and it's referring to the high-speed internet coming to North Dundas, and it's to assist with bringing high-speed internet to North Dundas. Representatives from various telecom companies, i.e. Rogers, Bell, Xplornet, etc., will be approaching homeowners to request written permission to install a fiber line stretching from the road allowance to the home. Details on the fiber line installation are on our township's website. I encourage residents to avail themselves of this opportunity, which gives homeowners the option of connecting to high-speed internet should they choose to do so. And we're bringing this forward in this forum because there are always, rightly so, concerns about people knocking on the door, offering special packages, and then there's always the opportunity for fraudulent people to be out there. But we want to make sure that if someone knocks on the door expressing that they're here about high-speed internet and they have all of the proper information at hand, that this is something that you should expect to happen. And please refer to our website, our social media, the counties as well, their website. It's all detailed and there's lots of information. But if there's any questions, please feel free to get a hold of someone at the township office if you have any questions. Okay. Any other further council comments, concerns? Seeing none, will miscellaneous unfinished business, Madam Clerk? Seeing none. Oh, we do have another council comment. Deputy Mayor.
I just want to announce that we had our county meeting on the 26th, and that Martin Lang from South Glengarry will be the new warden in the coming year.
Thank you for that. Congratulations to Deputy Mayor Lang on his new role. I'm sure he'll do well. Moved by Councillor Uhrig, seconded by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, that bylaw number 2024-55 to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution be read and passed in open council. Signed and sealed this 5th day of September 2024. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor Uhrig, that council adjourn at 1:35 p.m. to the call of the chair. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience today as we move through this. And until next time, take care.